In this video, we'll take a look at playing instruments with PXT-General. For the most part, this is very similar to using note mode in Live. For this example, I'll be playing instruments in Machine, and I've got a very simple setup here with 3 instruments with each one on a different MIDI channel. First of all, the pad layout here is identical to note mode, and the way you change settings is pretty much identical. So we could switch between root notes. We could switch between scale types. We can move between octaves. We can change the layout. We can switch between in-key and chromatic. And we can also activate full velocity. Now here there's a slight change because we can change the full velocity level. We've also got add note functions that allow the pads to play more than just one note. Here I'll set up the first add note to be 1 octave above the note that I'm playing, and the second add note to be 1 octave below the note that I'm playing. The instrument that I'm playing here is on MIDI channel 1. I can switch to instruments on other MIDI channels with the MIDI channel control. Here I'll switch to MIDI channel 2 to play my second instrument. The touch strip can do a couple different things. It can function as a pitch bend slider. It could also function as a mod wheel. And it can also function as a spring-loaded mod wheel. The instrument that I'm playing here is very sensitive to aftertouch, and that makes playing it from push somewhat difficult. We can fix this with the aftertouch threshold control. With a high setting, I'll need to apply a lot of pressure in order to trigger aftertouch. The program change control allows you to easily switch between presets on instruments that support program changes. In this example, I'm using the Roland XV3080. The resolution buttons can be used for playing chords or sequences of up to 16 notes. The notes they play can be learned directly from the pads. Learning notes to the resolution buttons is very simple, and the display guides you through the process, as you can see here. To give you an example of this, I'll learn a few chords to the resolution buttons. By default, the resolution buttons will trigger all the notes that have been assigned to them so that you can play chords. You can also switch this so they cycle between the notes that have been assigned to them and play them one at a time. In addition to the built-in scale types, there's also 5 user scale types that you can freely edit using the User Scales editor. The pad LED editor allows you to easily choose the LED colors that the pad should use. In the MIDI settings editor, you can choose the velocity curve and pad threshold.